Rickman. Mr. Rickman, you started to attempt school, drama school, when you were at the age of 26.
5, 6.
Yeah. Did you really need that to study acting?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Absolutely. Why wouldn't I?
Well, I guess, it's the matter of talent very much. And if there is talent, you can make it without having any kind of school.
Yeah, I'm sure we could point at all sorts of actors now who you go, well, they didn't need training, but then they'd probably be people who are not appearing in the theatre, and they're not doing 8 shows a week for 6 months, and they're not losing their voice after 1 week.
That's
so
true.
It's an instrument, and it needs to be worked on. Yehudi Menuhin has a violin. He can put it away in a case, or had a violin and put it away in a case. This is the instrument, and we put it on the tube and on the buses and take it in the streets and then expect it to walk on stage. And somehow this instrument can get in the way of your imagination. It can interrupt your imagination. And from my experience, although drama school can be a very confusing time for a student, it's all about becoming free.
And I think sometimes it's quite important that you meet actors of the same age, and sometimes it results in a long life collaboration.
Well, yeah, and at 25 and 26, I was not meeting. I was meeting 18-year-olds. But there were also, we had a wonderful principal at RADA, Royal Academy of Dramatic Art, and he believed in taking people of all ages. I wasn't ready to study at 18. It would have been a disaster.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I wasn't ready in my head. And also it was very important to me at 18 that I studied at art school first. So drama school, it wasn't about coming late. It was about doing it after art school.
Well, you studied you were a studied designer, and you had your design studio. Could you use something from your design knowledge, in creating your own costumes or something like that later?
Absolutely, and also, when I started to direct in the theatre and on film, of course, being trained at art school was invaluable, and it started to make sense of going to art school first and then drama school. So, yeah, of course, I interfere.
Yeah, do you?
Quite a lot. Yeah, I'm aware of the outline that a costume can make, and on the other hand, I'm also perfectly willing to be told to shut up and just put it on.
Yeah. Was there a subject in a drama school that you would have difficulties with?
I had a lot of problems with the voice teachers. Because
teachers?
I had a lot of difficulty.
It would be the last thing on my mind. I would think you could have difficulties with a voice teacher.
One teacher said to me, your voice sounds as if it's coming out of the back end of a drain pipe. And you have a spastic soft palate. And all of this was doubtless true, and that was one of the reasons it was one of the reasons for a great deal of work. Because, you have expert teachers that can make your voice travel forward rather than backwards.
Well, but I guess your voice is kind of your trademark. I would never think about you could have any difficulties with it.
And nobody can hear their voice in the way that other people hear it. It does, whenever I hear it on screen or on a recording, I hardly know that that's me.
One of your first theatre jobs was Royal Shakespeare's Company?
Well, I was in repertory theatre all over the regions in England in the days when, we used to have a union that meant that when you came out of drama school, you had to work in the regions for 44 weeks before you could ever work somewhere like the Royal Shakespeare Company.
That's, I guess it's quite a good idea.
Yeah, it's an apprenticeship, and you can make your mistakes without it ruining your career.
Oh yes, that's right, that's right. But Royal Shakespeare Company, it's a lot of performances. The system is quite tough there. How many shows did you have a week?
Well, you can't do more than 8, but 8 performances. But I think we were in. It's a repertoire, so I've been there twice now, and I think both times it was maybe 4 plays, and by the end of the season, you have 4 plays in your head.
Yes. Well, that's not such a big deal for a place. If you are in a repertoire theatre, that's quite normal.
Yeah.
But the number of the performances is high, that you really play every evening, and twice on...
Well, usually not Sunday. No, not Sunday. You have
Sunday
off. But then I get confused because when you go to America, and I've performed on Broadway now a few times, and there they do play on Sundays, but not on Mondays.
Yeah.
Which I prefer.
Yeah. But in our theatre, we had always a feeling that the Sunday audience is kind of weird.
Why?
Well, I cannot explain it. Weird people coming on Sundays. And
you mean they're coming out of the dark?
I don't know. It was another mood of the audience, and they somehow, we say, oh yeah, you see, Sunday. What can do nothing about it?
No, not in New York.
No?
Sunday audiences are great because the streets are not quite so noisy, and they've had lunch, so it's not till 3 o'clock, and the actors are very happy because they know at 6 o'clock on Sunday they're free until Tuesday.
Yeah.
So there's a kind of holiday atmosphere.
Yeah, it's great to work with excellent directors. Isn't it? Cannot it bring some value if you work with bad directors?
Absolutely, you grow muscles because you find you have to direct yourself, or you have to get together with your fellow actors and create an energy. Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't want to do it very often.
Yeah, sure. Are you good in resisting?
Directors?
Yeah.
Well, a friend of mine said, that the rehearsal room should be like a marketplace.
Yes.
And I think in a healthy rehearsal room, that's true, because I'm very protective of the actor's process, whether as an actor or a director. And I think you must always ask questions. The air must be full of questions and uncertainty. And I always think that one of the best things a director can ever say in early rehearsals, if asked a question, is, I don't know.
Yeah.
Then I feel reassured, because then I feel that they're not certain and that we'll find out together.